All right, so what's up there, YouTube world? I'm kind of like, hating the content right now. I'm working a lot. I don't have a lot of Jeep stuff going on, but I still want to like edit and put out content. So oddly enough, out of all the videos that I've ever done, the most favorite video of the YouTube people in the world out there is, I'll show you right now. It's this one right here. Right there. It's the walk around of my red Jeep, which is not that impressive. So I've been kind of like wanting to do a walk around of my my Willys I got here behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out today. This is actually going to like start a new series I'm gonna try to do, which is where I'm gonna interview people about their Jeeps. So we're gonna start off with my Jeep. And my wife's, I think, gonna ask the questions. We're gonna ask the same questions to every single person. And it's just kind of gonna flow into like a playlist. So you'll just be able to, once we get everything going, you'll just be able to like look and be like, oh, what's the next one? What's the next one? Oh, I know that guy. Oh, here's my Jeep, whatever. So anyways, we're gonna get that going right now. It's cold. I'm sure like a million warm days went by that I could have done this, and now it's wintertime, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to do it. So anyways, we'll see how this goes. As I always say, it is what it is. All right, let's warm her up, see if she'll start. It's a good sign. So we're gonna take like 5 minutes real quick. We're kind of gonna try to do like a new little video series. The goal is that we're gonna ask Jeepers the same 5 questions. We're gonna do, or same 8 questions. We're gonna do a walk around of the Jeep and kind of like just make a video. And ideally in the long run, I'd like just have like just tons of videos of this same thing over and over again. People can just kind of click through. So anyways, so I'm gonna try to get my lovely wife to ask the questions. So we're going to ask the same 8 questions to every person. So this is her first time on camera. I apologize for the road noise. So she's going to start asking the questions.
Question number 1. How long have you owned your Jeep?
So this Jeep, I think I've owned it about 9 years maybe. It took me about maybe 10 years. It took me about 3 to 4 years to get it all done. We moved in the process and so forth. And then once I got it going, I did a couple more motors after that, but really about 10 years, I think, 9 to 10 years.
What is your best mod?
It's the 6-liter for sure. It makes the Jeep super drivable. It just starts up in the cold like nothing and cruise down the highway. It's just like the best thing ever.
What is your worst mod?
Worst mod? I really think my worst mod is just the ergonomics of the driving compartment. The gas pedal's all wrong. The everything's just wrong. I maybe should have like moved the seat back and made it more comfortable. It's real. Everyone that has driven it just says it's just terrible to drive. So.
What's your favorite place you've wheeled?
Favorite place? I like the big places. I like Windrock. I like Harlan. We've been to places that closed down. We've been to places that are still open. Badlands is good. I don't want to go through everything I've ever done, but I like the big places. I like the big epic places with lots of trails. So probably I would say Harlan.
All right, earmuffs, kids. Have you ever had sex in your Jeep?
So, so we're all Jeepers, right? We all are we live in the life, and So I will say that I won't maybe answer the question, but I will say, so that, you know, hey, it's a funny question to ask, right?
What's your ultimate dream mod?
For this Jeep, my ultimate dream mod, I always said like air conditioning or something like that. I would probably say I've never locked the axles or anything, so I'd say like my ultimate thing would just be to probably come up with like the $3 or $4 grand to lock the axles and get them all set up, because it is open diffs front and rear.
Furthest you have driven your Jeep?
Furthest I've driven this Jeep is I should have thought about these questions more. I probably not more than 100 miles. I think I probably drove it 100 miles away, and that's probably as far as I've ever gone.
And shout out to your boys.
So I thought at the end we would throw a shout out in there. So as far as this Jeep, Kevin Benz from Jeepers Creepers helped me out a lot. Brandon Zansky nursed me through the 6-liter swap, the oil swap, the harness, the tuning, everything was really helpful on it. Of course, my wife, who let me spend all this money and do all this stuff and spend all this time in the garage and have all these cars. I, of course, anyone, family always is supportive and everything. But that's it. That's all we got. We'll try to get some more content up, and hopefully, you guys will subscribe and definitely hit the subscribe button. Make comments, do whatever. It's a fun time. We enjoy what we do. So have fun. All right, so we're kind of starting our video series thing that we're doing here, and it's cold and snowy, but I kind of owe you guys a walk around of the Willys. So I'm gonna try to follow the same format that you guys seem to like when I did the TJ. So anyways, we'll start out like this. We'll kind of go through the body. So it's a 53 Willys wagon. I didn't do anything to the body. Kind of give you a walk around. Got a nice cool rear bumper. This wire's been here for like, I couldn't even tell you how long. Got the original plate from 53. Pretty decent. The body's not bad. I noticed it seems like it gets like exponentially rustier every year. I look at pictures from like 5 years ago and it's like all white, and now it's like dingy and rusty. So that definitely, the patina's coming on strong. Obviously, I think these are like Ford truck mirrors. So those came on it. That's what I'm kind of starting with. These seats, I think they say Lincoln somewhere. They're the original seats that came with it when I bought the Jeep. Not original to the vehicle, but it's original to when I bought it. So anyways, when I bought it, the guy's like, yeah, I'm a carpenter or a cabinet maker, so I built all this. I would not buy cabinets from that guy. So yeah, he didn't do that good of a job. Unfortunately, probably the worst thing about this Jeep is it's missing everything out of the interior. The seats, the panels, the jump seats in the back, everything was gone. Like basically the interior was gutted. Yeah, so interior wise, I really didn't do a whole lot. I just put the YJ seat in. So this is the interior of the Jeep. This closes up. I actually don't really use any of those gauges anymore. The only one I use is the oil pressure, that oil pressure gauge. Originally I thought I'd use them all, but I just got away from it. So some people asked me about this. So when I bought this Jeep, there was a big hole like in the dash. Somebody had just freaking hole sawed a giant like 4-inch hole in the dash. So I was like, I gotta do something with it. So I kind of just put my fuel gauge there, which, disclaimer, it quit working like a couple months ago. So I put my fuel gauge there, and I just like kind of like made like a bigger thing there, just to like cover the hole up. None of this crap works. So the pedals, I don't even think I finished welding these things. Yeah, I think I need to finish welding these. The pedals, I had to do hanging pedals, and I got the hanging pedals from a guy from a CJ. So hanging pedals, the hydraulic clutch all came from a CJ. The gas pedal came from a CJ. It was just given to me. It's a Vega steering wheel. It's actually tilt. See, look at that. You know, I got mods on this thing. You know, just the normal Willys body. It's actually not in that bad of shape. I see Jeeps like this and they go for like 15 grand, like stock. And I'm like, God, is that like really what they go for? There's your heater. It actually works really good. The only time it doesn't really work good is if you're on the highway, just because of all the draft in the Jeep, it just sucks all the heat out. Got a stereo there, made like a little plate to go in there. That's the original color of the Jeep as far as I can tell. The back, somebody gave me a sound system, so that's what's in there right now is like a amp and things like that, I guess. So when it comes to axles, I always tell everybody the same thing: buy once, cry once. Just be done with it. Get tons. And actually, it's a misclaimer because, or however you say it, because I don't actually run tons. What I always try to run is a Dana 60 front and a 9-inch rear, and then I just beef up the 9-inch. I'm just a big fan of the 9-inch. I always have been. I like the way they are, the way they set up, the way they're made, you know, the price of them, the availability of parts, etc. Yeah, so let's go through that real quick. Here you have a Dodge Dana 60. Kingpin disc brakes, half-ton brakes, 1-ton steering, half-ton brakes. You know, whatever shot. I don't remember what shock I got. I got some CJ towers, or no, Ford towers. Oh, look, piece of wood. So there's a piece of wood. That came like that. That was a piece of wood in there for the front bump stop extension. So look at that. Yeah. Those are engineered, baby. They came like that. When I did the Jeep, I did the shackle reversal. Yeah. And I did a bunch of stuff here, you know, whatever. It's a Saginaw steering. It's whatever came on the Jeep. I just kind of changed it around a little bit. Converted Dana 60 to 5-lug. It's 5 on 5.5. I didn't machine it like I did the red Jeep. I had to buy a kit. It's kind of a long story. The hubs on a Dodge are cast and they have some like bosses in them, and you can't really change the lug pattern. Like the Ford one is like it doesn't have the casting, so it's all smooth, so you can just change the lug pattern. It's kind of a long story. I'd have to actually kind of like show you. 5 on 5.5, 9-inch disc brakes. Yup, disc brakes. They're Cherokee Leafs. As long and as wide as you can get them is what you want. That kind of takes care of the axles. It goes and it stops. It definitely goes and stops. It's good. The steering's good. The go is good. The stop is good. It's real drivable. It's real drivable. So as you guessed it, as I always say, it's got a 6-liter LS motor. So I kind of try to go through real quick on the motor. It's actually a radiator from a 1967 Mustang. If you look right here, it says FOMOCO. I didn't even know what it's from. I bought it off of Craigslist. Some guy told me, he's like, yeah, that's an original radiator for a 1967 Mustang. I was like, oh, okay. So I think it's kind of valuable. I don't know. I used to drink this Hard Luck Candy root beer vodka. So that's my overflow bottle. Too much, not enough. There you go. Kind of give you an idea on that. Some stuff on this Jeep is well built, and some stuff is kind of not well built, you know, like it's just like whatever. This was my first LS swap. I did my own harness and everything. This is actually an AGR pump. I had it from another project, remote reservoir, CJ booster. I don't even remember. Maybe a CJ booster and big, I don't know, big whatever. So it's a 6-liter LS, and it's mated to an SM465, which is mated to a 205. I machined all the stuff myself. I machined my spacer for the transmission. I didn't know anything at the time. I was just like doing stuff, didn't know nothing. It actually came out really good. I did have to mess with the clutch a little bit later on, but other than that, it's been really solid. I think it's kind of wrapped up. It's kind of basic in the sense that it just goes and stops and turns, and it's good on the highway. It's not great. As you can see, there's no seat belts. So when you do die, it will be swift and painful. You know, just the SM465, the 205. You know, not a lot of bells and whistles to it. Yeah, I mean, I haven't done anything to it, to be honest. Things just break and I just don't fix them. The gas gauge went out a while back, just random shit. If anybody has any questions, like I did the harness myself. The computer is actually down there under the battery. Yeah, it's super drivable. I mean, I drive the heck out of it. If anybody ever wants to steal it, I'd usually just pull those 2 fuses when it's in a parking lot, the fuel pump and the PCM. I haven't done anything to it. Once I got it running, that was it, man. I just drive it. As you can see by that fuel filter, that air filter, I don't do a lot to it. Yeah, I mean, that's about all I got. Trying to think, I got some pretty crappy tires. I think I paid $200 for them. They're really wide. They're kind of crappy. I don't care for them too much, but just kind of like waiting to get another set. I can tell you what I'm most proud of. I'm actually gonna get down on the ground here. Take a look at my steering. So if you can see the steering, it has some extra joints in there, you know. So I actually bought some U-joints and like made my steering go like down and up, back up. Just because the steering was at this crazy angle, because your steering wheel on these things is like straight up, because you know you were driving like a bus back in the day. You know, you weren't like laid back and comfortable. So that was a really cool thing. Has a carrier bearing, and I actually took that concept and I carried it over to my red Jeep later on. Has kind of like a similar setup, not exactly, but I used a rod eye for a carrier and all that. So it doesn't make sense, but anyways, I'm always like, does my flashlight still work? Let's see. Boom, boom. My flashlight still works. If you're gonna break down, you want some light. So I have like a 50-year-old flashlight that somebody gave me. So that's what I have there. I think I have used it more than once. Oh, here's another one. Look at that. Everybody always says, oh, you left your wrench on the battery. So there's a lot of little like acorns, I don't know what they call them in this Jeep, just stuff like that I did. Just throughout, you see little things here and there that I did on the Jeep just to be goofy. I think I made my own motor mounts. Yeah. This was my original LS that I did. It was kind of dirty and you know, it took a lot. It had a lot of motors in it. And I finally got to where this is the final setup.